This month, we are focusing this segment on heart health. And since February is American Heart Month, it's a great time to do it.
Yeah, it's a way to bring more attention to cardiovascular health. And really what we're trying to do is raise awareness about heart disease, which is, as many know, the #1 killer in the U.S. for both men and women. And today's specific focus is how to reduce your risk of heart disease in some unexpected ways.
There are actually 3 pretty easy ways to do this. Let's start with the fun one. Increasing your socialization can help you live longer. Get this, for senior citizens in particular, social isolation is as damaging to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes each day. That's according to Dr. James Cerruti, a cardiologist with University Hospital's Harrington Heart and Vascular Institute.
Loneliness as an epidemic isn't really appreciated within the general population. Is a fairly large problem. There's studies over the last few years that have shown it's a very large risk factor for developing coronary artery disease. Almost 43% of seniors report being lonely, and that increases the risk of coronary artery disease by almost 29%.
Dr. Cerruti also says the risk of a stroke goes up by around 32% if you don't socialize enough. Of course, staying safe in any crowded place should always come first. The second thing you can do to reduce your risk of heart disease is to know your blood pressure. Over 100 million Americans have high blood pressure, and it's one of the largest risk factors that contributes to heart attacks and strokes.
Because it is silent. Most people can't tell they have high blood pressure. If you never get it checked, you might think your blood pressure is fine, but it could be silently causing a lot of damage in the background. So even if you're younger and healthier, at least checking it once a year is recommended.
There's also new technology in Bluetooth blood pressure cuffs that can connect to smartphones for monitoring, which can be easily sent remotely to your doctor or cardiologist. And I think everyone will like this last one. Sleep more. Not getting enough sleep can increase your risk of high blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes, which can raise your risk for heart disease.
Most guidelines suggest at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and that's great. And some people have difficulty getting to sleep, and you can focus on, good sleep hygiene is what we call it, avoiding stimulating things right before bed, creating the right kind of environment to get good, high-quality sleep. I think that's all very important.
Now, Dr. Cerruti also says the risk of a stroke, as mentioned in the piece, goes up by around 32%. If you don't socialize enough. Of course, staying safe in any crowded place should always come first. I was fascinated by that to hear because my mom was pretty isolated during most of COVID. She was living by herself in Phoenix. And I was worried because as I would watch the weeks go by on FaceTime, I would just see there was subtle changes in mostly her mood and her outlook. And I was terrified by that because there's really nothing I could do being so far away. And to hear that being isolated is the equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. We know the harmful effects that have.
Right.
So it was just, it was stunning, and it really was one of the facts that caught me by surprise.
Well, and I think that's where, like the advent of Zoom and trying to get grandparents Zooming, and it's not really getting out, but at least it's some kind of interaction, and you get your brain buzzing a little bit.
Yeah, there's
see all the
stimulation
tiny
there.
humans, and
For
you're
sure.
the people that you love. It's a big deal.
Yeah.